Salters is coming right up. Well, when the schedule came out, we thought these would be two teams that were wondering where they would be seated. And about Dallas, it's been a disappointing season. We've talked about it plenty. It's been a little better of late. They've won their...
As small as it might be, and the fact that they've been able to win a couple of games, they come in this game as confident really as they've probably... Has become a shootout. We haven't seen it from Dallas, but they might be able to play that game.
Let's talk about the Cincinnati Bengals and what they have been points, but they've given up even more, and it's been so frustrating for the Cincinnati Bengals. So many near misses.
That defense, Joe Burrow, he can't do any more than what he has done. There's a tremendous amount of pressure on Dallas. Defensively has their three top corners playing tonight together for the first time all season. So this is a
consecutive loss, and I remember C.D. Lamb saying then that the team was just kind of in shock because of how poorly they were playing. But you know what they say?
And ESPN Deportes TV announcer John Sutcliffe is celebrating his 300th Monday night.
Yes! It's Monday! The Dallas Cowboys and the Cincinnati Bengals on Monday Football Monday night on ESPN. Viva!
Both have continued to play hard for these two head coaches.
There's no question about it, and as you mentioned, Joe, Dallas certainly comes in with more momentum and a little more confidence coming off of two-game win streak. Cincinnati been involved in some tough losses, but there hasn't been any quit on either side.
Dallas won the toss, they defer, so it's Bengals ball to start the night at the 30. I'm sorry to keep saying this, Troy, but we worked together a long time. I have not seen anybody get you as excited to watch a football game as I have with Joe Burrow.
Yeah, he's an old school quarterback who reminds me of the guys that I played against back in the 90s, and he has great anticipation. There's obviously a lot of talented quarterbacks out there in the NFL, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes among them. But when you watch Joe Burrow, I don't think there's a quarterback in the game that throws with anticipation like he does.
That's Chase in the backfield. He gets it after going in motion, and his old buddy Trayvon Diggs comes off his block and makes the stop after a gain of 3. We'll give you some of the particulars about the offense. Play caller is Zach Taylor for the Bengals. They've been putting up a lot of points. Jamar Chase led the NFL in receiving yards and touchdowns through week 13, and Orlando Brown Jr. is inactive. Cody Ford slides out to left tackle, and Cordell Volson is back at left guard. Fake toss. Burrow underneath is able to complete, and with a catch by Sample, the quick tackle by DeMarvion Overshown, who's getting better as the weeks go by, and a gain of just 1. What a good player he has become in a short time.
You know, Chauncey Golston, he gets up the field. Originally, they want to get Burrow out on the edge where they've got a 3-tiered route and put a little pressure on that defense. But Dallas, this defense has really come alive over the last 4 games since Micah Parsons returned, and they have been outstanding on third down. The problem for them has been they just simply haven't been able to get teams to third down.
3rd down and 6. Pressure. Pass is broken up for Higgins. And there's Diggs. And it'll be a 3-and-out for Burrow and the Cincinnati offense to start the night.
Well, they show a all-out blitz, 0 blitz. They drop out Eric Kendricks at the last minute, so they rush 7. Trying to put a little pressure on Burrow, get the ball out of his hands. Trayvon Diggs, who was questionable coming into this game, gets the start, and he comes up and makes a big play on the ball.
One of the most dangerous returners we've seen in a long time. Kevontae Turpin is waiting for the punt from the rookie Ryan Rico. Can he keep it away from him? High hanging punt. Turpin will go. And go. Out to the 40. Good return. And a 20-yard return by Turpin to give good field position to Cooper Rush in this offense. There are the career numbers as a starter for Rush. 2-2 this year.
All the guy does is win games. I mean, you look at him and he's the perfect backup. You know, back when Dak was playing, someone who's won games in the league, he's able to come in without much work during the week of practice, and he's gotten comfortable, and this team believes in him at quarterback.
Here we go.
They're also starting to believe in this guy, Rico Dowdle, coming off his first 100-yard game on Thanksgiving against the Giants. Mike McCarthy calls the... So he's at work doing that. You see what they've done with points per game at home. It's not been pretty. Rico Dowdle, with what he's been able to do over the last 2 games on average. And Zach Martin, we're going to be talking about him tonight as Brock Hoffman gets the start at right guard.
Here we go.
2 straight runs. Nice little bend back. And Dowdle is a yard short of a first down as Geno Stone made the hit after a gain of 7. Lou Anarumo, when we talked to him, he said, we're just trying to get 1 or 2 more stops a game, and it kills me to say that. They're back kind of to basics. They're putting up, teams are, a lot of points against Cincinnati. Trey Hendrickson has been unreal, and Logan Wilson, who's the man in the middle, is out on IR. And Jermaine Pratt, 57, wears the communication helmet. You saw Akeem Davis-Gaither, who gets the start. Rush keeps, completes, first down. Schoonmaker. And a gain of 14 on a nice throw from Cooper Rush.
Well, Luke Schoonmaker, he's really come on with Ferguson being out. You're going to see him here, but watch the action that play action in the backfield has on the linebackers. Everybody then flows to the offensive left. Schoonmaker comes right in behind it and really puts a little pressure on that defense, and Cooper Rush finds him.
8 catches, 88 yards, and a touchdown over his last 2 games. When they replaced Jake Ferguson, who's back and was out with a concussion. Rush, sideline, Lamb. A first down catch, good for 4. Mike Hilton, the slot corner out there on him.
We've talked about it before when we've had the Dallas Cowboys and where they got the ball after Turpin's punt return. They didn't need much yardage to get in the range of Brandon Aubrey, and so with 1 first down, they're already knocking on the door. And the way he has kicked the football, what a luxury that is for them to know they've got 3 points essentially locked up in their pocket already.
Fake toss, Rush, sideline, what a completion to Lamb. Ball was sitting there waiting for him when he turned around, 13 yards and a first down.
Yeah, pretty physical at the top of the route, and you're right, Joe, in that Cooper Rush, he turns this loose while CeeDee Lamb is at the top of the route. Ball's out. He hasn't even gotten his head around yet, and he's able to locate it and make a big play on the ball.
Out of the reach of Rico Dowdle, might not have been much out there anyway. It's been a slow start for the Dallas Cowboys with no touchdowns in the first quarter in each of their past 8 games. Trying to break that streak right here.
Well, in a lot of ways, this game is going to come down to who wins down here in the red zone with the Dallas offense versus the Cincinnati defense, because Dallas has been one of the worst in football of scoring touchdowns down here, and Cincinnati hasn't stopped anybody.
Dowdle right up the gut. Rico gets 8. 3rd down and 2. Well, what a luxury it is that they can just hand it off and get chunks of yards like that.
Yeah, and they've really found something in Rico Dowdle. And I know early in the year they were doing a running back by committee, and then they started feeding Rico Dowdle a little bit more, and he has shown what he's capable of doing. And we heard Lisa Salters in the pregame say that he finally got his 100-yard rushing day last week for the first time in his career. But he's put together some pretty good efforts here over the last month.
So they hand it to him again, spinning, and he got about a yard. It's 4th down. And well played by DJ Ivey, a backup corner who made that stop. And the decision for Mike McCarthy is to go.
Well, an interesting decision, and I don't disagree with it when you're going against this defense and the way in which they have struggled, and then also even though the defense came up with a stop to open this game, going up against the Cincinnati offense, at least here early, you've got to expect that you're going to have to score points.
Here we go.
On fourth, end zone, Lamb, touchdown, Dallas. Let's make sure he caught it on his way out. Yep. How about 4th and 1 and taking an end zone shot, and Lamb was all alone.
Well, there was no disguise. You're not going to get a quarterback draw out of an empty set. So they tipped right from the start when they went empty that they were going to throw the football, and Mike Hilton, who's had a tough time in coverage this year, he just got burnt on the corner by CeeDee Lamb.